Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Kandid Konversations with your girl Kyra. How y'all doing today? Beating the heat. This heat is getting out of control. There I go. I got my focals on now. Hello everybody. There we have it. Jay is not here with us today. Unfortunately, he had some things that he had to take care of, so it's just me and your boy. You not gonna say hi, Deacon?
No, you were glitching, so all I heard was your boy.
I was glitching. I'm always the one glitching.
Yeah, you are. Hello, everybody out there. How y'all doing? Good to see you. Good to hear you. Good to read what you're going to be saying.
Y'all can't see him. Hi, Dorian. How are you? Hi, Robert. All right. Hey, TT. How you doing, girl? All right. So everyone knows today was Viewers' Choice. Viewers decided to vote on, which is, which was, do you always feel that you have to sacrifice for your children? And of course, we all who are parents know that sometimes you do have to sacrifice certain things for your children. But the bigger question is, when you make those sacrifices for your children, do you feel sacrifice is worth it? And do you feel some type of way after being of three? I sacrifice a lot for my children. And sometimes the sacrifice is worth it. And sometimes you got to still do a woosah, suck it up, and realize that that's the choice that you made, and gotta move on with your business. Deacon, you have what, 7?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I know you're a whole lot bigger than my sacrifices. So how do you feel about that? Do you feel like all your sacrifices for your kids is worth it?
Of course, you have to feel that way, because they're for your kids. They didn't ask for. They ain't asked to come here.
They did not.
They ain't sign up for it. They ain't raise their hand that, hey, send me down there to that guy. So therefore, there are sacrifices that are in place, that we have to, you know, you gotta chalk it up.
Do you feel like? Do you ever feel like your sacrifices for your children? Um, have you living a life that you didn't want to live, or are you living a life that you wanted to live with the sacrifices that you made? Are you settling for the life that you have because you had children?
I think everybody settles for the life they have because they have children. I think that's just it's just what it is. Um, like I said, it comes with the territory. Every you would do and you will move a lot differently if kids weren't a factor. But because they are a factor, you have to move the way you're moving.
Okay. Well, those who are watching that are parents, who I'm pretty sure we all have made sacrifices for our kids, but How do y'all feel about the sacrifices that y'all make for y'all kids? Do y'all feel like the sacrifices are worth it? Do you feel like you're settling? Do you feel like you're missing out on something because you had to make? I mean, Dorian says it's called life. If you want to live and to help matters, better according to any circumstances. Well, yeah, it is called life. And like Derek said, these children didn't ask to be born into this world. So whatever sacrifices we make is always going to be for the betterment, hopefully for the betterment of our children, because all sacrifices don't always end up being the because sometimes you have to sacrifice relationships for your kids, some of your own goals so your children can have their own dreams and success stories. So, and I think too, it also depends on the age you start having your kids too. Because if you're a little younger and you feel as though it's like, I don't know, since I know some parents kind of will have, serious issues with their children because they look at their kid like, I gotta let go of the things that I have to do to, put a roof over your head and do this, and but what about me? And I think that sometimes we forget that there is no more you
Right.
when you have a kid. It's just about what that kid need, and that's it. Hi James, thanks for tuning in or whatever. So I think that's what I think it comes with an age factor. Because you got a lot of people out here that's a lot younger having children, and they don't, or not that they don't understand sacrifices for their kids, So I think that has a lot to do with it too. It's an age factor type of thing. Because I don't mind sacrificing for my kids, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether I feel as though the sacrifice is worth it or not. I'll still make whatever sacrifices I have to make for them. Because those my babies.
Exactly.
Oh. So it is what it is, and it do what it do. But have you ever hold resentment, Deacon, for any of your sacrifices?
No, you can't hold resentment against kids. Like I said, they were not asked to be here, and they definitely didn't ask you for your sacrifice. So you can't hold resentment.
No, you can't. Well, some people do that. That's why kids are treated so bad in this world, because parents don't know how to deal with the sacrifices they have to do for their children.
Too
Sad
sad.
situation. It's a sad situation sometimes. It really is. I mean, I do what do you call that? Nifty, which is football.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like 200 kids there, and you have kids that are just not, their parents just, enough parents that's there, that's at games, that's cheering them on and supporting them. They making the little sacrifice to be there for their kid. Because I know when my baby played football too, and I don't miss a game, I don't miss practice, I don't do none of that. That's my baby. I don't care if I ain't slept in 24 hours. I'm there. And then you just have those that just don't care, and they just like whatever. It's like a babysitting club.
Right.
So it's like, it's sad to see sometimes a look on the parent is not there. is very sad and it's very disheartening. And then you try to be that parent for a whole bunch of kids because their parent isn't there because they're not either. I mean, everybody has to work, but they're not willing to make that sacrifice. Because I always say, if I could do it, you could do it.
Whatever I could do, you could do better.
Oh, all right, April. April said, I plan my son, and the only thing I wish I sacrificed is my younger years to have him earlier, him to be older right now.
But April, you're pretty young. So how young you want to have him? She's like, I wish I would have got him. I wish I would have had him when I was 17. So he'll be older by now.
Don't wish that we could have some. I mean, I don't wish it, but yeah, if I would have had my kids in my teenage years, I'd be living my best life right now. Let's get it done. Let's get it over with. Thank God first in order for you to understand sacrifice. Okay. I don't. I
I
don't.
don't think, but I don't think you asked. Oh,
I don't. Yeah.
she,
I don't know about that
give
one.
her the Mother of the Year award, but I don't know about everything that everything that happens, whatever it may be, you ask for because you planned them. Because there are unforeseen things. There are things that come along. Like me as a comedian, I understand that if I had I can't say no children, but if I had less children, or if my mindset was differently, um, as far as being in my children's life, I could move differently, and I could have made a lot of different choices, especially as a comedian, especially as a business owner. Um, my schedule is pretty hectic, um, because I want to be able to provide for my children. I want to make sure that my kids, my family is taken care of. I want to make sure that they have the things they need. I don't want them to wake up in the dark on purpose. You know, it's one thing. It's one thing to be in a blackout and the whole neighborhood or the whole block in a blackout, and it's another thing for you to be the darkest house on the block. Everybody else watching TV, you sitting around with candles. So, um, those are the type of sacrifices, like sacrificing sleep and stuff like that. Those are things you have to give up I'm okay with giving up because then I know that my children are taken care of. Um, it's the other things that are sacrifice, that I'm not so proud of. The sacrificing of memories, because I'm so busy and because I'm trying to make sure that my children, um, are having living their best life. I'm missing out on some of those candid moments. I'm missing out on some of those memorable moments, or even creating memories where, I could be taking a week or 2 weeks off to travel or do something with the family, but I can't do that because I have priorities that I need to take care of. So those are the sacrifices where, I find myself not so proud of or not so happy about, um, because at the end of the day, if I when I cease to breathe, when I cease to have a say in every daily life, what are the memories that I'm leaving with my children? Am I saying are they going to be able to understand, especially if I left early on in the game before they can really understand what daddy was doing? Will they understand that daddy always was on the computer and daddy always was on the phone, was actually business that he was taking care of me, or are they going to look at it as, daddy was always on the phone? He wanted to do everything else but spend time with me. So, there's it lies the sacrifice and the things where they're good sacrifices, things that you can be proud of. But in those things that you're being proud of, there's always an underlying thing that I'm not so proud of, that's not so great about the things that are having the things that you want, or the things that you feel that you should be entitled to. Everybody should be entitled to being happy, or living comfortably. But when you have children, some of those things have to be sacrificed because you want your children to be happy and you want your children to be comfortable. So, yeah.
I mean, I 100% agree with that. But kids are kids. Sometimes they ain't gonna understand what that sacrifice is until they become. I can't say I've sacrificed like too much. I know I have sacrificed jobs, and I will sacrifice a relationship behind my kids. Um, because my thing is this: I love my children, and I will let go of a job in a heartbeat behind my kids because I refuse to miss any moments of my children's lives, which is why I never missed a football game that my son played. I've never really, um, as far as my daughter doing track, I've never missed none of that. I've never missed a recital when they were younger. Like I was always there, front and center, front row, picture taking mama, because I'll be damned. Y'all gonna know that somebody was there. Y'all ain't gonna be one of them kids looking out like where my mama at. Mama at work? No. No, 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 no. I'm not doing that.
Well,
So that much I would say.
well, I was
I will
raised
do.
differently than that. My parents didn't come. My parents came to one of my sports basketball games, my freshman year. That's the only thing they ever showed up to. So I went my whole high school um, year was out the support of parents being there. So I can applaud you for doing that and being there because that is dope. Um, because there is nothing like looking up in the bleachers and seeing people that are there for you, cheering you on. So I definitely give you props for that.
Well, why thank you. But it's like, yo, I've always, like, I wasn't that sports, when I was not that girl. I don't know how my kids get these sports in them, but okay, whatever. But like anything that they did, they played, it didn't matter. I just, that was my sacrifice. And I will, you let me get a phone call at work and be like, oh, something wrong with your kid. I no longer even care about my job. I'm like, all right, deuces, I will catch y'all at another time. Say what you want to say. I'm not going to ask permission to leave my job because my child is sick. Oh, I gotta go.
Yeah.
If my job can't accept that, then guess what? Then this ain't the job for me.
Same here. Same here. You
Because
can't reach out to me.
it's here forever.
You can't reach out. You can't reach out and say my kid is sick and don't think like I don't go to my boss and say, hey, can I leave? I'm like, listen, my son is sick or my daughter not feeling well. I gotta go.
Hey, baby girl. Um, exactly. Like some things when it comes to your kids, it's like it's a switch, and it's like nothing else matters but that kid, and I don't care what the consequences of that is at the end of the day. That is my baby. If my child is hurt, I walked out. Don't even tell my boss. I pulled him out my way as I'm getting in my car to go get my child because I gotta go. My baby is hurt, and I gotta see what's going on. And all my kids are my babies. Even my 18-year-old daughter, that is my baby. That they're always going to be my babies. That doesn't mean that they are babies, but they're always going to be, my babies.
Right.
And I think he is far from a baby, but he is my baby. Oh, thank you, Caroline. That's my baby girl right there. So, but and sometimes too, single parents or whatever, they sacrifice, I think, a little bit more, because they have to, like, I think I would. This is just me. Let me just always put that out there. This is Kyra's opinion. When you have children and you are going through, let's say, dating, or you're going into relationships with people, sometimes you have to sacrifice the man that you want or the woman that you want to be with because it's not good for your children, or your children aren't happy. Um, if you can't get that, what do you call it, that common denominator,
Mm-hmm.
to where you can, have your relationship in that relationship with, because that can also mess up a dynamic in your home as well. So I think that's a sacrifice. Sometimes I have to sacrifice sometimes, who I'm dealing with, because my kids would give somebody the side eye real quick and be like, yo, mom, uh-uh. We ain't having it. So,
So if one of your children said, "Nah, I'm not feeling him," then it's a wrap.
man, if wait, say that again.
So if one of your kids
I
say,
ain't hear you, Deacon.
so if one of your kids say, "Ma, I'm not feeling him," it's a wrap.
Well, we gonna have a conversation about it. Because I need to know what the issue is. If it's just like, my kids just being the overprotective children that they are, then that's something different. But if it's like a real solid reason and I can't get them to like one another or whatever, well, first of all, I ain't gonna be with nobody that don't like my children.
Right.
So that's not going ever in life. But yeah, if they can't get along, I'm not gonna have my kids being in a home that's not happy. If they not happy, and that's it's just like, okay, then I guess it's just on to the next. We'll figure it out. Maybe that's God's sign saying, to my kids. I don't know. That ain't the one. You never know. But my children are very fair children. They're not like they like, oh, I just don't want mommy to be with nobody. No, they're not like that. They're fair children. So if they don't like you, they don't like you for a reason. And yeah, I'll be like, deuces, gotta go. Sorry, my babies aren't happy. I mean, it may not be right, but like I said, that's just sometimes a sacrifice that I will have to take, because, it is what it is. April says, for real, I'll quit my career because my boss tried me after I had my son. She worth is some stuff I'm not tolerating. And Dorian says, and it can also be looked at as you do have to be careful on what to sacrifice. Like, for example, would you sacrifice to give your kid in if you heard very bad crime to someone innocent? Oh no. I understand what Dorian is saying. Let me tell y'all something. That's a sacrifice that no mother ever wants, or no parent ever wants to do. Is if you know your kid committed a crime, and it's between whether or not the only way they gonna get caught is if you tell it.
Wait,
Let me tell
you
you
ain't telling?
something.
You ain't telling? You ate it in the biter? You ate it in the better?
Listen,
Huh, cat?
it all depends on what you did. Okay, it all depends on the crime that my child committed. I'm sorry. I'm right for mine. But they have to be held accountable for, the things that they do in life. But I don't know. I'm not going to say I would turn them in. I'm not going to say I wouldn't turn them in. That's just an iffy question because I don't know if I'm ready to make that sacrifice to get
Oh, I'm telling.
to the rough world of just.
Out of here.
I don't know. That's because seriously, Derek, you wouldn't think twice about turning your own kid in.
Not at all.
Why?
Two things. First of all, that's how I was raised. My father told me straight up, like, listen, I work too hard for somebody to be knocking my door down.
I understand.
That's what my dad was. He said, if you end up in a jailhouse, don't call me. Use your number. Use that one call for somebody else, because you wasted on me. And I understand now. I thought that was a little harsh growing up, but as an adult, I understand where he's coming from. Like, number one, for the main part, I have taught you good, right from wrong. I have raised you to my best ability. I made sure that you understood that God was number one in my life. He should be number one in your life. Now you have to make your own choices, and not to go biblical, but the Bible tells us every man must stand in judgment and be held accountable for his or her works. So therefore, if you working on Satan's side, then you need to cash in.
Listen, I don't know.
And especially if you out here being an idiot. Now, if you did something stupid, like you out here like, oh, I was running around doing a Black Lives Matter thing, and I threw a rock in the window. It was like, oh, I'm still telling, but I'm not. I probably don't.
No, I mean, like, if it's like a murder charge or something like that, I could, it would probably break my heart, but I probably would turn my son in.
Charge?
Oh, or my child.
Murder charge. You got 20 minutes. You got 20 minutes to turn yourself in before I turn you in.
Yeah, like I made, and you hear me say may, right?
Yeah. You're a little wishy-washy. I don't know. You might take them to the bus station where give them a couple $100 and like make this work. Just know you can't come back for a little bit. I already called your third Uncle Louie down in Albuquerque, so he's expecting you. Just go with God, son. Mommy loves you.
I'm calling my brother like, yo, bruh. I'm calling big bruh. But no, I probably would. Probably. Because that's just hard. I don't know. Maybe because I'm the mama. So that would just be hard, but I probably would. But if it's for something stupid that I don't feel as though it needs to, no, I wouldn't do it. But like if it's like murder or I'm kidding, because I wouldn't want nobody looking for my baby and something else happens to him where I wouldn't even be able to go visit him in jail. So all right, Dorian. You got that one. Yeah, that's what it would probably be. As far as that is concerned. But that is definitely a very big sacrifice for any parent at all. I'll probably be that mother. You remember that little when the mother came out of the clear blue spot. He was out there throwing rocks and stuff at the police officers at the demonstration. He had a mask on his face.
Oh yeah,
and she just knew that was her.
She knew her child. Yeah, that was what was that? That was in Baltimore.
Yeah, and she knew that was her damn kid, and she went out there and beat the crap out of him. Yeah, I'll be that mother. Like, what the heck, I'll be that mother because anything could have happened to her kid out there. But yeah, I'll probably be that mother, but I don't think I would really, I don't know. I don't think I could really turn my, I would feel some type of way. I would feel bad and guilty.
Children, please know that if you do the crime, you're going to pay the time. There's no doubt about it.
I don't want Derek
It
as my daddy.
is what it is. As the prophet Martin said, "You're going down today, boy.
The prophet Martin.
Down to the ground, to the down, to the down, to the down today, boy. That's what's going to happen."
No, I do not want Derek to be my daddy. I'm okay with that part. But yes, a lot of that to what your beliefs are, Dorian, um and you're right. That's why you need to know what's involved when it comes to sacrifice, when it comes to God, and sacrifice with your kids by sacrificing with your likes and wants by spending more time with them, and that may not be a problem. Um, I get you, Dorian. I definitely understand. But in order to turn out to be somewhat functional children in the world, you have to sacrifice your time. Sometimes you can't, sometimes you can't always, be that parent that you thought you were going to be, because you have to sacrifice so much of your time with work and delegating other responsibilities. So it's kind of hard, and sometimes your kids may miss out on just you, just you. Period. So it's very hard, especially when you don't have a balance and you're a single parent, or whatever. And do work and able to spend time with your kids, to raise them, to show them things, and to do things with them, and to make them functional adults in this world. What do you do? It's like, how do I do this? And some people just aren't that great at juggling how to be a good parent, and also I want to have a life. It's like, it's very hard to juggle. It's very hard to do. Um, and we all have that conflict sometimes. Like, it's very, like me, I change my schedule because of my kid.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, my children are always first. And I figure out what I have to figure out second. If I, That's just like if I have a date plan and I can't go out on a date because something's wrong with my kid. Or if my kid just wants me to be home, I will, listen, I can't go out today. Or whatever, whether it's be a date, whether it be with my friends, even though that's something I want to do, sometimes I can't do that because your children need, especially when they're younger.
Right.
When they're little, different, because they don't really ask for your attention as much as when your kids are younger. So, like right now, my daughter could care less if she if she spends time with me or not. So, but yeah, no, time is, you have to learn how to balance that time, and some people just don't. And it's not a sacrifice of time. It's just, you got to learn how to balance it, and you have to learn how to put what your kids needs. I could want a lot of things. I don't get it. I don't get everything I want, but I have no problem sacrificing for my children. Because at the end of the day, I always say my kids will be great no matter what.
Yeah, they will be.
They ain't got no choice. Okay, they ain't got no choice. That's it. And I just like today. I just my son today, and he a little upset with me or whatever. But I had sometimes you gotta let kids know, like, listen, I sacrifice too much, but you be up here acting like a knucklehead. So better get it right, get tight, because with sacrifices, no doubt, you're gonna be sitting out in the wind. I'll be taking my sacrifices for granted.
Right, exactly.
Sure. My games I play, I'm be playing with me, don't play with me. But sometimes your kids get salty, and but it's just the way that you got to do things. And I'm more of a talker with my children than anything else. And
You mean you don't go up top?
I do saying that you have to,
You
huh?
don't go up top? That's what you're saying? You more of a talker rather than go. I'm more of a go up top.
I'm not popping. I will. Don't get me wrong, but I let that be my last resort. All right, I'd rather talk.
The Bible says, "Spare the rod,
the Bible don't say nothing
spoil
like
the child." The Bible does not say spare a speech, spoil a child. It says spare the rod and spoil the child. The Bible also says, "He that he loveth, he correcteth." So because I love my children, I will correct my children. And because I love my children, and I'm not raising any spoiled kids, I'm giving the rod greatly. Because lastly, the Bible tells us that those who know the way are punished with many stripes.
But we just gotta keep doing the biblical thing.
So because I have taught my children the way, when it's time to be punished, they are going to have to be whooped with many stripes. Ooh.
Yo, I can't with you. Zoria says, absolutely. You ever heard the saying, if you made your bed, then lay in it? And when it gets that hard, that's when we should humble ourselves and go to God, and He will fix it. If you're going by faith to sacrifice everything you love before God, He will fix it all. And love God first. I think we all love God first. I mean, I think you find your house, your home, your everything. If you put Him first, of course, all things will come to pass, and things will happen accordingly. Not to what you want, but to God's way. If that's what you do. But some people in the real world don't do that. They just decide to, some people don't do it. Some people don't put God first. I put God first before everything. And I think that's why I don't have sacrifice as much as maybe my parents did or whatever. But I definitely think that when it comes down to sacrificing for your children, every sacrifice is worth it. I can't sit here and say that I regret not one thing that I sacrificed for my children.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that I can.
No, I sacrifice nothing. I mean, I regret nothing that I sacrificed for my kids. Now, other people, yes, I do regret sacrificing my time, like regret the time that I sacrificed. I try to live my life not to have no regrets, as the Three Milky Way commercial used to be say. Like I live my life to have no regrets, but sometimes regrets for the sacrifice you make is inevitable when it's for anybody else other than your children.
Like what though? Like what you saying? Sacrificing your time with other people
Yeah, because some people just not worth your time,
because you missed out.
and the people that
Huh?
I like, some people are not worth your time, and the people that are worth your time, um, you are punished because you don't have the time to give them. So, um, that's another one of those sacrifices that, well, not for your kids, like I said. So I try not to regret. I regret the time that I spend, that I give to some people.
Like a type of thing.
Huh?
I regret giving some of my time to some people.
Right.
I do, but it is what it is. Everything is a life lesson and it's a teaching. And the people, like you said, the people that you truly would love to spend time with, sometimes it's hard to do, but
Right.
it's doable. You just can't spend as much time. But then again, now also, that's why I said sometimes when you are dealing with people, whether it be family or friends or whatever, when you are dealing with people and you have children, they have to have that also, that understanding that at the end of the day, you are a parent first. And me coming to chill with you, or me coming, going out or doing whatever, does not supersede my child.
Mm-hmm.
It just does. So, and some people feel like, or pick my kid, but at the end of the day, my kid's gonna always win.
Every chance,
And
every time they come up against them.
exactly, my child will win every single time. So, okay. And when I say my child, that's exactly what I mean. My child. I'm not saying my adult child, but when my children are younger,
Stop it.
yeah,
You're a dope
y'all gonna,
child too. Cut it out.
y'all better, huh?
I say you're a dope child too. Cut it out.
But Tashi different, cause Tashi don't need that type of attention from me.
Whatever.
So I don't have to put nobody to the side because Tashi want me to.
Yes, but you will.
Tashi don't care.
Right, but exactly, but you will. All you have to hear her say is "mommy." Plans are changed immediately. You taking the good wig off, put it back on the thing. Like, all right. Well, mommy, what you need mommy to do?
That is so not true. Tashi only good business on my time, and she be like, "All right, my peace, I'm out." That's it. Tashi is Tashi. Tashi do her own independent thing. But yes, you're right. I probably would.
Yeah, I know.
I'll give her some time, but I don't have to cancel a whole date
You would.
or go out with somebody to answer or to deal with whatever it is that my child want to talk about. Because most of the time, what Taji want to do is talk. Taji ain't trying to hang out with mommy no more. Taji is, okay, I got my own friends. I got my own life. I'm out here making my own money. It's like, she driving. She like, sure. Robert, yeah, Deacon always got jokes. Taj ain't trying to hear that. But them boys is another story. I don't know what it is about boys, but yes, I have to make the ultimate sacrifice for them boys, and that's gonna be to the day I go into the ground. Dorian said, now I'm willing to let everything go just to fix myself and start all over again. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Fix yourself, heal yourself, start from scratch, and it won't be so hard. it won't be hard the next go around because you want made all them mistakes and everything like that. So you kind of got a little bit of wisdom.
You right.
I I do believe. I'm about to fix myself and heal myself from all these sacrifices I made for my kids. I'm about to start a whole new life.
Whatever.
Now I don't know, huh?
I said whatever.
I don't know. I'm about to drop these kids with their daddy, and I'm gonna be like, please, this life is for me. I'm about to live my best life.
I'm done.
And y'all know that's a bunch of crap.
Right.
Anybody that know me know, and my babies.
Them kids ain't being dropped off nowhere but home.
Right.
And you'll be right back.
Huh?
I said them kids ain't being dropped off nowhere but home, and you'll be right back. Take this upstairs.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
I'm gonna go and visit, and then we'll be right back. You're absolutely right. My kids ride with me no matter what. Those is my ride or dies. I love my children. Don't you love your children?
Yeah.
I would hope so. I'm about to say something. You thinking?
I ain't think I say yeah immediately. We talking about?
You say I ain't hear that. I thought I saw you think back. Like, wait a minute.
I caught myself off guard. I caught myself in the monitor. It was like, dang, he's handsome. So I caught myself.
Wow.
I caught myself off. But I'm back. I'm back. Humble yourself. Humble.
You are awful.
Oh man.
Or I'm not doing this with you. But our hour has come to an end. And we are going to end our hour on a good note, which is I hope that every parent, you see, I got the praying hands.
Right. They look like the praying hands too.
The praying hands. I hope that every parent who ever has to sacrifice for their kids will always understand that no matter what, your sacrifices are always going to be it's always going to be worth it. And just like, Dorian said, put God first, cover your children. No matter what that sacrifice may be, always choose your children first. Because everything to me can be replaced, but your kids are there forever. Well, not forever, but your kids are always going to be there. So, people come, people go, jobs come, jobs go. But the way you raise your children, who you raise your children around, means a lot as for them to be productive adults. And that's what I have to say.
That was deep.
You have anything that was deep? That's all you got to say?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't stand you. All right, everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in to Kandid Konversations. I hope y'all all have a blessed and peaceful night. Peace and blessings, everybody.